Bulavinaka, my name is Litia and I'm from the beautiful island of Laos and I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
My name is Casey, I'm from Tabua. We love Today FM in Tabua. Today FM rocks.
My name is Selina, I'm from Tavenga Vengamba. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Pula, my name is Carlo. I love listening to the music in Today FM, in Malak Island. Today FM rock.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
In the news tonight, work begins on Fiji's tallest building. Choir festival to meet shortfall of levies. And food stall owners promise proper hygiene.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Jackie Smith.
Fiji will soon have its tallest multi-million-dollar building. A foundation-laying ceremony was held for the WG Friendship Plaza today, which will be situated along McGregor Road in Suva. Praneet Prakash reports the plaza will be owned by Chinese-based Wangguo International Real Estate Company Fiji Limited.
$115 million has been invested into the project.
The ultimate benefit is mutual both to the investment group and Fiji as a whole. This will not only thrive, but definitely it will drive the return on investment through sales, but also drive the local economy, including through the creation of local jobs.
The multi-million-dollar plaza will contain 5-star hotel, shopping mall, 300 apartments and office spaces.
A substantial number of indicators shows the sign of economic growth predicted by the International Monetary Fund can be seen in such development such as this.
Deng Ping says this indicates the strengthened relationship between Fiji and China.
China is now Fiji's third largest trading partner and the biggest source of direct foreign investments. In 2016,
the WG Friendship Plaza is expected to be completed by 2019. Pranita Prakash, FBC News.
The annual Methodist Church Choir Festival this year is designed to help meet the shortfall of membership levies. Methodist Church spokesperson Reverend James Bhagwan says the church understands that some were unable to give their levies and the church is taking a holistic approach to support the work of the church. Sanya Nimboila reports.
It's the Methodist Church's mandate to approve programs that are part of the church during the Methodist Conference, and in order to keep these programs running, the church needs money.
Conference then decides what direction and what programs to run. And so the mandate is given on those programs, but to run those programs costs money. And so it's just a way of finding a way to make up the shortfall in what people have been able to give. So that's the reason behind this year's soul level.
Bhagwan says despite the hardships faced by some of its folk, the church needs to keep all programs and projects up and running.
People just don't have enough to give all, even though they give all they can. It's greatly appreciated, but at the end of the day, it's not enough for the work we need to do. And this is an opportunity for others who have some spare or have the commitment to give something or able to give, so that we have the funds to roll out the programs we need to do.
It's the 4th day of the festival and more members are excited to be part of the famous Solebu.
I came all the way from Lamaviti yesterday to be part of the annual Methodist festival. It's a good time for me. I'm a representative from the division of Namoli. We left Lotoko on this day and we were blessed to be part of this festival.
Dozens of people were part of the choir festival earlier this morning. The festival will continue tomorrow with the Methodist conference to begin next week. Sainiani Mboila, FBC News.
A 36-year-old man of Sonai Sali, Nandi, died in a road accident last night. Police say the man, who was allegedly intoxicated, was lying on the road when the 25-year-old suspect allegedly unknowingly drove the vehicle over him. The incident occurred after 7 p.m. He was rushed to the Nandi hospital but was pronounced dead on arrival. A post-mortem is expected to be conducted as investigations continue. Maintaining hygiene is one of the top priorities for food stall owners at this year's Vodafone Hibiscus Festival. Faced with issues such as overcrowding, weather and above all forking out $2,850 for stall space, vendors are ensuring their customers are served with only the best. Kelly Vavala reports.
More than 20 food stalls have been set up at this year's Mother of All Festival, selling varieties of food from barbecue to Indian dishes and Asian cuisines.
The limited space here and the water condition is not good. We try to prepare from home because the cabbages and things attract a lot of flies. We make sure that we have our uniforms and protective clothing and when we're working.
We've got a lot of health issues and everything, and people usually come here and help people from Ministry of Health and everything, come here and ask us to wear protective stuff.
Suvakaila Kempa food stall owner Emosi Bukelau says it's their responsibility to ensure the public buys food that has been prepared well and in a safe way.
Water problems we see is one of our problems. We also try to maintain the OHS standard and try to adapt to their standard.
Food stall owners say they're still able to make profits despite a tough competition amongst themselves.
Great competition, and it. It's a welcome thought to think that people come here and say, oh, but the other stall, we don't have to go there and look.
Depends on people to turnover and the crowd, the weather conditions. But we manage to get some profits on a daily basis.
This evening will be the Vodafone Hibiscus Queen's First public judging at the Bank of Baroda tent, and on the FBC stage tonight, Today FM personalities will be providing entertainment along with some great music. Kelly Vathala, FBC News.
Still to come, Australian medical team provide expertise in Fiji, and 2018 public holiday dates released.
Moala radada ranalika o tikongona tauna singa toka ando talitaka na wakaronga ng Bull FM number 2 na serre.
Ya dora chubuli kurna bili. Ibora ni batsukara hambara binaranga. Do talitakina na wakaronga ng Bull FM number 2 na serre. Bula.
Bull FM number 2 na serre.
Drastic changes will have to be made in our health system. Minister for Health Rosie Akbar told the combined Sai Medical Conference in Labasa yesterday. Both the medical and the ministry have a part to play for a better health system.
The Ministry of Health has copped the brunt of countless complaints from the public in recent times. This may soon change with overseas specialists offering their expertise to Fiji.
We are going to see a movement, we are going to see a change in Fiji's health sector, which sort of, a lot of blame that I take is not mine. Let me just say it's not mine, okay? And these issues that we have within health will not go away overnight. There are a lot of issues that have been plaguing the health system for a long time, but at some point in time, we really have to make those drastic changes for a better tomorrow.
Speaking at the combined Sai Medical Conference yesterday, Akbar says having the best medical team and facilities will not be effective if people do not take care of their health.
Many a times the issues that we have is late presentation at the hospitals. People present themselves very late, so there is no detection of the diseases or the conditions that they go through. And you know, losing somebody in a family through death is very bad.
The combined medical conference was an opportunity for members of the medical fraternity in Labasa to pick on the brains of specialist doctors from the Sai Foundation in Australia.
We want to share the knowledge with local doctors as well as medical students, so that we also learn and they can learn also. So the whole idea is basically to connect with the local medical people as well as share knowledge.
The combined medical conference is a joint initiative of the Satya Sai Service Organization of Fiji and the Sai Medical Unit of Australia, focusing on the theme Managing Pain. Eleanor Turangaibiu, FBC News.
Specialist doctors and nurses from the Sai Medical Unit in Australia today conducted medical clinics for the people of Labasa. This is the 11th year the team has been doing the service free of all costs. Eleanor Turangaibiu with this report.
Buleleka Sanatan College turned into a hospital today, with hundreds of people in the wider Labasa community coming to take advantage of the free medical clinic on offer from today.
Plenty people they having benefit here. Plenty doctors are from overseas. They're giving a good medical to us, and we feel fully enjoy here with them. We have a good time. They give the medicine and everything here.
The Sai Medical Camp has been running for 11 years now, and the first ever camp was also held here in Labasa. It offers free eye checkups, free dental checkup and treatment, free physiotherapy and advice, free blood pressure and sugar level checks, as well as general medical checkups.
We have these medical camps in different parts of the world, and Fiji being close from Australia and New Zealand, we thought, that's where the need is, and that's why we started in 2007, and then we have been continuing every year. We bring our team around August in the school holidays, so we can use the school, so we can organize such a big activity.
Minister for Health, Rosie Akbar, commended the service rendered by the organization, which she says will go a long way for members of the community who live away from the main hospitals and health centers.
The whole idea of this camp is to reach out to you people, to bring the services to you. So it's like a hospital out here, right? From doctors to diagnosis to medicine to referrals, everything is happening here. And as a minister responsible for health, I'm very pleased with the camp.
A team of 54 medical personnel and students are conducting the medical camp, which will continue tomorrow at Bulilaka Sanatan College before it moves to Mbotha Level Primary School on Wednesday. Eleanor Turangeview, FBC News.
3 assessors have come back with a mixed opinion following their deliberation in a drug case involving 3 men from Kandavu, who was heard before Suva High Court Judge Justice Salesi Temo. Sulia Simbola, Elesio Tukana and Mikaele Raivasi are charged with 1 count of unlawful cultivation of illicit drugs. They are alleged to have planted more than 951 marijuana plants at Rakiraki village in Kandavu in December 2015. The first and second assessors gave a guilty opinion for Mbola and Tukana, while they found the third accused not guilty for the charges against him. The third assessor, however, has found all the 3 accused guilty. Judge Justice Salesi Temo will deliver his judgment tomorrow. The government has released the dates for the 2018 public holidays. The dates were approved through a Gazette Notice number 79 dated Friday the 11th of August 2017. There will be 11 public holidays next year. These include the National Sports and Wellness Day on June 29th, Constitution Day on September 7th and Fiji Day on October 10th, to name a few. Ahead in sports with Jamie, 16 teams for School 7's rugby, but up next, Rachel with the latest in business.
Thank you, Jackie. Good evening, and coming up in business tonight. Listed companies capitalization at an all-time high. And in growing Fiji rural electrification project for people in Vunivere. Stay with us.
Whenever I want to tune in to listen to great music, I always tune in to my favorite radio station, Gold FM, only the classic.
My name is Lita. We love listening to Gold FM here at the Fiji Hideaway Resort and Spa. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
We here at Tano Waterfront Lautoka love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Gold FM.
Leading business tonight, the market capitalization of companies listed on the South Pacific Stock Exchange have been at an all-time high at $1.54 billion for July. As of the last 12 months, a 22% growth has been noted in the market capitalization. Here's more details. July has been the most active month on the stock market with 219 transactions recorded.
The major contributor to the number of transactions was, of course, the market-based reinvestment transactions for Fijian Holdings Limited. And if you look at the dollar value of transactions, the major contributors were, there were a couple of high-value transactions in Fijian Holdings Limited, Vision Investments as well, and VB Holdings Limited.
This active month translates into a high demand for listed companies.
The majority of shareholders in some of these listed companies, if they are looking at making capital gains out of their investments that they have been holding for a couple of years now, this really presents to them an opportunity to sell down part of their shares and make or realize capital gains from their investments.
A total of 16 individuals were listed on the stock market last month, bringing the new investor total to 86. And now with a look at last week's action on the stock market, here's Savanatha.
Mulvinaka. Let's review the action on our local stock market last week. A total of 32,189 shares exchanged hands in 10 transactions this week, accumulating to $128,548 in consideration. There were 4 securities that were traded. These were Amalgamated Telecom Holdings, Fiji Care Insurance, Toyota Tsusho, and Fijian Holdings. Amongst the price gainers were ATH, which saw a price gain of 2 cents to conclude at a new all-time high share price of $1.59. Toyota Tsusho shares also saw an increase of 38 cents to end the week at a new maximum share price of $4.80. There were no price loss last week. From these positive movements, the market capitalization has increased by $13.77 million to stand at $1.54 billion. That's the news from my end. Vinaka.
Thanks, Savanatha. Looking at today's exchange rates and foreign currencies in the Fijian dollar. The Fijian dollar rose against the Chinese yuan and the American dollar to close at 3.28 and 49 cents respectively. While closer to home, the Australian dollar rose, closing at 62 cents. New Zealand dollar followed suit, closing at 67, and the PNG kina rose to close at 152. As for the commodities market, a mixed day as oil prices were up to close at 48.79 a barrel. Gold was up to close at 1,222 an ounce, and silver weakened to close at 17.10 an ounce. And in growing Fiji tonight, a major rural electrification project has been approved by the FEA for people living in Vunivera in Senganga. FEA Board Chair Dakshish Patel says this project was approved last week. He adds that work on the rural electrification project will commence accordingly. The project will also roll out in other places of Vanuatu. The government has set aside $42.6 million towards the rural electrification project around the country.
Our rural electrification is at the highest this year. We are expanding that and allowing us to do this kind of social obligations, which is very essential for the authority.
And that brings the end to your business news this evening. Now to sports, here's Jamie.
Thank you, Rachel, and good evening in sports tonight. Young Kachi Raga wants to be just like his superstar big brother. And school's volleyball competition makes a return. This and more coming up.
मैं प्रेमिला वायरुकु रेकी रेकी से सुबह मेरी आँख खुलती है तो मैं मिर्ची एफएम सुनती हूँ. मिर्ची एफएम इज नंबर 1. इट्स सो हॉट.
हम लोग बार टाउन के कैरियर ड्राइवर लोगों ने हम लोग के मिर्ची एफएम सुनो अच्छा लगे. मिर्ची एफएम इज हॉट.
हाय, मैं संध्या नारिया रेफ्रिकी से. मेरे सारे दोस्त मिर्ची एफएम सुनते हैं. मिर्ची एफएम इज हॉट. आई लव मिर्ची एफएम.
हमें स्पिन टकता हुआ कि मिर्ची एफएम में सबसे अच्छा गाना बजे.
मिर्ची एफएम इट्स हॉट.
The Vewa Galaxy Kachi Rugby Tournament kicked off at Suva's NZ Stadium today. With hundreds of young ruggers all out to emulate their heroes, one player wants to be just like his gold medal winning older brother. Vasil Prasad has more.
Atunaisa Sokombale is just 12 years old, but the Maduata Rugby under-12 player has big dreams to fulfill.
Play rugby, I want to be my brother.
It's the first time for him and most of his team members to play in Suva. The journey to be part of the strong Maduata team has not been an easy one.
A number of schools came to participate this year, so only those that were able to come, we brought them. But it means a lot to these kids to come here and participate and to represent the province of Maduata.
Kachi Rugby President George Seroiratu says these young teams are taking the competition seriously.
We're looking forward to a good tournament. Last year, unfortunately, it was cancelled midway through the games because of the bad weather, and we hope we'll have good weather this year.
Seroiratu says hopes are high teams from the West will join the tournament next year.
Next year, we will try to get just one tournament for the whole of the Fiji primary schools. And everyone is ready now.
The Kachi Rugby continues for next 2 days at ANZ Stadium in Suva. Vashnil Prasad, FBC Sports.
16 teams will take part in the Fiji Secondary Schools Rugby Union Sevens tournament on Friday. President Setereki Merikula says this year's competition will see a change in the format of the tournament since it was last played.
We'll have 4 teams for the under 15, 4 teams for the under 17, and 4 teams for the under 19. That team represents the zone, does not represent the school, it represents the zone. But just for the girls, it's just an open grade.
Meanwhile, the Fiji Secondary Schools Volleyball Tournament has made a return after a lapse of 2 years. The Fiji Secondary Schools Volleyball Association says they hope the revival of the annual event will boost development for its parent body. Vashnil Prasad has more.
17 schools are participating at this year's secondary schools volleyball competition.
It was an initiative of a few teachers from last year. We ran through the weekly competition for Suva Secondary Volleyball Association last year, so this year it gained a momentum.
Majority of the teams are from the Central Division. The Fiji Volleyball Association hopes more schools will take part next year.
It's interesting to note that there's a lot of young people who are interested in volleyball. Unfortunately, the support for the minor sport is not there, and we'd like to see more of it.
The 2-day tournament hopes to see new talents participate strongly.
For the winners, they'll be taking away a shield. A shield is for under 16 and 18, under 18 boys and girls, and also there's trophies for individual grades also, and also for best player.
The teams are taking part in the under 16, 18 and 20 category in both girls and boys division. Vashnil Prasad, FBC Sports.
Groundwork for Lautoka Football's OFC Champions League crusade has begun as it wraps up its VPL campaign. Coach Kamal Swami says the Blues are looking at roping in some overseas-based players to boost its chances at the O-League. Vashnil Prasad reports.
Lautoka has already been crowned the champions of the Vodafone Premier League title despite 2 matches remaining. They are now focused on the OFC Champions League.
We had a meeting with the officials, the executives who are looking for the preparation of O-League, and I think they are on the right track, which is good for any team from Fiji going. They need to prepare early.
It's been an impressive season for the Blues, remaining undefeated in the last 12 matches and leading the table with 34 points.
It was very tough, and all the teams were getting fast to defeat us, but we kept our composure and patience to beat all the teams in our home ground.
Lautoka defeated Suva 2-0 yesterday to claim its 4th league title. Siotambe Kumbu and John Vesikula scored the goals for the Blues.
We worked hard this year to win the title because of the last year that we lost to Nandro, and we learned from our mistake last year and we kept that this year, so we won the National League very hard.
Blues coach Kamal Swami has plans to bring in overseas experts to strengthen the side.
We'll be looking for players overseas because O-League is a different level of game.
But for now, it's time to celebrate with the title returning to Suga City after 8 years. Vashnil Prasad, FBC Sports.
Black Ferns winger Portia Woodman scored 8 of her side's 19 tries in a 121-0 drubbing of Hong Kong in pool play at the Women's Rugby World Cup in Dublin today. It's the 3rd time the Black Ferns have hit triple figures in a World Cup match. In today's play of the day, Usain Bolt was given a special farewell ceremony at the World Athletics Champs as the sprinting legend bids farewell to the sport that he has dominated for nearly a decade. That's it from Sports Tonight. Join Angie later on with weather and in new media. Google cancelled staff meeting to discuss a controversial memo. Find out more after the break.
Bula, kera mai singatoka, kera ndo talita kana barorong na Radio Fiji 1 and domoy viti.
Ayaw na rin siya. Uti kombinasyon mo tikola ndo talita kana Radio Fiji 1 kina domoy viti.
Ayaw ko ato sila tale, nagurara may nawamanyi, nandunga. Gitu talita gila nando binasibale kung nagudurong barong na Radio Fiji 1 nando may viti.
Na Radio Fiji 1 nando may viti na ponga ni BNN.
In new media, Google has cancelled an all-staff meeting to discuss a controversial memo about diversity written by a former engineer. It is reported that some staff members were concerned about being singled out online if they were identified while they spoke out during the meeting. It's weather time now with Angie.
Hello there and welcome to the Weather World. Another amazing week has begun, but with rain. Yeah, it wasn't that toasty today as conditions chose to stay rather cloudy and a bit rainy in a few places of the country. Taking a look in the west, it was a beautiful day indeed, though we had few grey clouds, but no sign of any rain. Eastwards from Pekhaber to Suva, rain and cloudy periods was the order of the day, with a little bit of sunshine. And up in Vanmalevu, it was cloudy with a rise in the temps, which made conditions feel much warmer. At sea, southeast winds 15 to 20 knots with moderate to rough seas. And for the tides, high tide tonight will be at 11:43 with a low tide tomorrow morning at 6:06. The beautiful sunrise will be at 6:35. For tomorrow, rain is not sparing us at all. Yeah, we're in for showers which could get heavier at times. Tomorrow's temps, Suva and Savu Savu will be the coolest at 23 degrees. And looking further on to Wednesday, rain decides to leave, leaving us with overcast conditions. And that, Jackie, wraps up our FBC weather for tonight.
Thanks so much for that, Angie. On Fiji on Pulse today, we asked, are food prices expensive at this year's Vodafone Hibiscus Festival?
I think Hibiscus food prices is cheap because the food prices where we buy them from is not cheap. It's expensive. So we come and sell them in a price that we can have profit from it. And in here, price is cheap.
The food prices are cheap and what we sell are cheap as well, especially barbecue.
It's cheap. Hibiscus Festival is beautiful this year, I guess.
Well, I think the food prices at Hibiscus are reasonable. Some are $6 and even $5.
In the world of the weird and the wonderful, a study published in the online scientific journal has stunned the world. Scientists were able to fix a hereditary genetic mutation in a human embryo. The milestone achievement was quickly tempered by the ethical question, will this lead to the making of designer babies? Recapping the main stories, work begins on Fiji's tallest building, choir festival to meet shortfall of levies, and food stall owners promise proper hygiene. For these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. To our poll question, the results from last week, we had asked, should students have extra classes during the school holidays? 62% said no. This week we are asking, are food prices expensive at the Hibiscus Festival? Visit our FBC website to answer. Before we go, our shot of the day, the beautiful sunset was captured by Vatuloka Aliti at the Wananabu Beach Resort. Send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. You can also follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. That was the FBC News for tonight from the team and I. Good night.
Bula, keron may sinatoka, keron daw talita ka na varorong na Radio Fiji 1 and Domoy Viti.
Ayaw na rin siya. Kung minasama mo ko lang, daw talita ka na Radio Fiji 1 and Domoy Viti.
Kaya ko sila tali, naguraramay na omanyi, nando nga. Gitu talita gini ang gitu Venezuela, nagudurong barong na Radio Fiji 1 and Domoy Viti.
Na Radio Fiji 1 and Domoy Viti na buong ni BNN.